A lot of ground to cover in today's video report, so I'm going to fly right through it. I've got complimentary plays coming up on the late game between the Patriots and Titans, plus 3 college basketball games. I'm going to get to them in just a moment. Now, the big featured play today, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's by the hottest NFL handicapper here at the site at the moment. That would be Tommy Brunson, who since joining the site in early September with his 150-dime NFL releases, all he has done is go 9-2 with them, including last Saturday's winner with the Titans over Kansas City. You've got all of those plays for over half price off. Same thing goes today, the 12th ever 150-dime play. It is on the early game between Philadelphia and Atlanta. You get it for over half price off by using 150-dimer. 150-DIMER. That is a coupon code. Listen, guys, he's only had one bigger release. That's been a 200-dime play. He's won that as well. And I can tell you because he called me at 4:30 this morning because I was working at that hour and he saw me online. And I already know that if he wins this play, he's going to up the ante. He loves both of tomorrow's games. And one of them, if he wins today, is going to be a 200-dime play. So let's cheer him on. Hope he wins today because he's another guy like me that believes when you win, you press the action. So I'm in his corner today. So that's the big featured play today. Now, the other thing at the site I want to draw your attention to. If you check out the scores and odds, listen, guys, in the 15 years that since I first created these sites, I have built and designed at least 6 iterations of the scores and odds here at the site. The problem has always been that you're always at the mercy of the score provider who you get the raw feed at. You're also at the mercy of programmers, so it's amazing when you deal with programmers. It's like, I can come up with a concept in 5 minutes, and it generally takes them 5 years in order to really get your drift. If you go to the scores and odds sites today, you'll see a brand new iteration of the latest scores and odds that I just designed. Now, it's far from complete, but it's the best one yet for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a stable platform. You're not going to find this one crashing every 2.5 minutes like the other piece of junk did. But more importantly, a couple of big changes on it. For example, in the NFL, you're now going to find not only the first and the second half lines, but you're going to find first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, even fourth quarter lines. Same thing, well, if college football was playing. And the NBA, you're going to find the first, second, third, and fourth quarter lines. You're going to find for you soccer bettors out there, not only you're going to find the Premier League and the big soccer leagues, you're going to find all the fringe soccer leagues. And in soccer, not only you're going to find your usual money line odds and your goal lines, you're going to find the total lines. You're even going to find the draw lines, which you ain't going to find that practically any place, guys. The other things, you're going to find tennis odds. You're going to find golf odds. In the next iteration, which I'm working on, you're even going to find auto racing out there. I'm working on that as well. You're going to find a lot of cool stuff, so check it out. If you have any suggestions, and remember, I'm still working on it. You're going to see some color changes. You're going to see some additional stuff out there. Feel free to send them to customer service should you have any suggestions. But it's a really cool thing when WNBA starts, when the CFL starts, when Arena Football League starts. You're going to see that. You're already going to see a EuroLeague basketball out there as well. But it's really cool. I also changed up a number of the sports books. I tried to alter some of the offshore and the Vegas sports books out there. A lot of these offshore sports books are all housed in, a couple of floors in one building in Costa Rica, and a lot of them are owned by the same company. So I tried to alter so you could really get some nice blended lines. You'll see some big name sports books out there you haven't seen before. But the main thing with the scores and odds is a lot of these scores and odds sites that you see online are built by sports books whose only purpose in building it is for you to click on links to go bet at their sports books. You're not going to see any clickable links here at this site. We don't do that. The other thing is a lot of the scores and odds sites that you see online are built by people, I think, that never placed a bet in their life. I build it for me because I'm a gambler and I'm a handicapper. And this is what I want to see. Now, I will tell you one thing. The mobile site, it sucks. It still sucks. I got to work on the programmer. Listen, I designed this back in June. It's January 13th. It took this long for the programmer to take my thoughts and develop this. So, we're going to be adding futures next. We're going to be adding injuries next. And then I'm going to get him to work on the mobile site. I hope I'm not ready for retirement by then. But it's coming along and it's kind of cool. So let's get to your complimentary plays. Let's talk, first of all, let's talk from a historical ATS perspective of what the division round looks like. Now, as we know in the wild card round, after the favorites had absolutely dominated the past couple of years, the underdogs won a perfect 4-0 against the spread. Now, in the semifinal round, if you go back to 1975, and that's the jumping off point, because up to that point, that's when home field advantage was first determined by a team's one-loss record. Hard to believe before then it wasn't, right? These are the significant ATS trends from 1975 going forward. Underdogs of 3 points or less, a rarity. Congrats, we're talking to you, Eagles fans. They're 5 games over 500, okay? Favorites of 10 to 13.5 points, yes, like the Patriots, are 5 games over 500. Home teams, going back to 1975, home teams, 168 games have been played. Home teams, you're 7 games over 500 versus the odds makers, no matter what the line was. Home favorites, and again, there's been 160 of them in that stretch. The home favorites, no matter what the point spread, 5 games over 500. Home dogs, there have only been 7 of them before Philadelphia today. 4-3 versus the spread. Now, here's something that's a little more significant and what I find a little interesting. 168 games, again, going back to 1975. 115 of them, we're talking 68.5%, have been decided by at least a touchdown. 68.5% decided by at least a touchdown. 84 of them, exactly 50%, have been decided by at least 11 points. And 70 of them, 41.7%, have been decided by at least 2 touchdowns. So we're talking blowout city in this round. But does not that make sense? Because now you have the division winners. You have teams coming off byes here in the later years. You have the best of the best now playing, enjoying the home field advantage they work so hard to earn. So again, you've had 68.5% win by at least a touchdown. You've had 50% win by at least 11 points. You've had 41.7% win by at least 2 touchdowns. Couple of things, though, to keep in mind. Number 1 seeds are only 9-5 straight up, and even worse, 4-10 against the spread the past 7 years. And at least one number 1 top conference seed, a number 1 top conference seed, has been knocked out 6 of the past 9 seasons. Okay, home chalks. And we're talking about you, New England, you, Pittsburgh, you, Minnesota. You're only 4-3-1 against the spread the past 2 seasons. Road dogs, 8-4. Or excuse me, road dogs are 8 games over 500 since 2004. Now, the current way you see the field split up, because they expanded the semifinal playoffs field back in 1990. Double-digit favorites, 14-8 against the spread overall since 1990. But the last 4 have covered, including New England last year against Houston. But remember, that was a real sweat, right? Because Tom Brady struggled in the first half. That was a real sweat, 34-16. They got the 18.1 as a 16.5-point favorite. In terms of totals, 19-9 over, 19-9 over since 2010, with 3 or 4 games going over the posted price last year. So a lot of numbers, but hey, listen, it's not like I can say them any slower for you, right? Now, in terms of the game tonight, I'm sorry, I got to be on the Patriots. If I was putting money on the game, I'd have to lay the 13.5 points with the Patriots, because I look back at last week's game with Tennessee, and I say to myself, which were the real Titans? The Titans that were down 21-3 at halftime, or the Titans that won the second half of the game because did they win it, or did Kansas City lose it? Listen, there is no comparison between Bill Belichick and Andy Reid other than they can both win the NFL MVP award for most monotonous post-game press conferences. That's the only thing they have in common. Because unlike Andy Reid, when Bill Belichick gets you down, he goes for the jugular. He puts his foot on you. Because Brady and Belichick don't stop attacking. Andy Reid, he wants to run the ball. We talked about this before. Ask Eagles fans. Ask Kansas City fans now. They know the deal. Patriots are always in attack mode. We saw last week that before Travis Kelce got hurt, how the Patriots were so effective going to the tight end and the Titans had no answer. Gee, do you think the Patriots will go to Rob Gronkowski? Oh, you're saying, hey, the Titans are going to get smart defensively. They're going to do everything they can to stop Rob Gronkowski. Do you think Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has other weapons he'll probably exploit? Yeah, I think so. Did Alex Smith have those options other than Tyreek Hill? I don't think so. I got to go again with Brady and the Patriots. But why is my money not on Brady and the Patriots? Is it because of the big point spread? Well, that's one reason. But here's the other thing. Similar to why I hate the college bowl season is similar to why I don't like this particular game. Listen, in the college bowl season, you have teams that you have predictability because you have a routine, because you have college teams that are playing every single week and you know what to expect. But then suddenly, halt, we got to put a halt to this. We got to have 4.5 weeks off before we see these teams play again. You don't know what to expect. I hate this round of the playoffs because you have teams that are playing well. You've got guys, quarterbacks that are playing well. And then suddenly we got to take a week and a half, 2 weeks off. And that machine that was well oiled, it has a little rust on it. And you saw it last year with Brady in the first half for the Patriots against the Houston Texans. Remember? Brady, first half, or actually in that game, 18 for 38, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, a week later against the Steelers, he was 32 for 42 and 3 touchdowns. And then what happened? A week off and before the Super Bowl, the bye week. And how miserable was he in the first half against the Falcons? But then when money was on the line, he was brilliant again. He did not, in that game against Houston, resemble the guy who was a 67.4% completion guy with 28 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in the 12 games after returning from Deflategate. And I worry whether he's going to be as sharp as he was during the regular season after the week off today. And that's my worry here. So that's the only reason my money's not on the Patriots in this game. But I still like them. Okay, your college complimentary plays. I'm going to go with Auburn minus 2 points at Mississippi State. Auburn's won 13 straight games after rallying from a 10-point halftime deficit at home to beat Ole Miss 85-70 on Tuesday night, a game that I had a 15-time best bet on the Tigers. They've won their last 5 games by 10 points or more. They lead the SEC in scoring at 87.2 points a game. They're hitting 45.9% of their shots. They're second in the league in rebounding at 41.6 boards a game. You got a Miss State team that really is a great defensive team, but they can't hit the broadside of the barn, especially from 3-point range, where they're only a 29% shooting team. I think that's like 342nd among 351 Division I teams. Ben Howland, the Miss State coach, is going to turn his offense even more over to a freshman point guard, Nick Weatherspoon. That's asking a lot from this guy, who's already averaging 11 points in a game this season. They're coming off a 71-54 loss at Florida and a 64-58 loss at Ole Miss. Now, true, they did beat Arkansas 78-75 in their last home game, but hey, listen, what did the Razorbacks do? What have they done for you lately? I mean, they just got crushed at home against LSU a couple of nights ago. Trust me, I know. I had Arkansas in that game, a 9-point favorite. They lost by 433 points. When I look at the KenPom stats and I look at the adjusted offensive efficiency, you've got a differential with the offensive efficiency and the defensive efficiency that favors Auburn by 10 points. They're a 2.5 point favorite. They're 3-0 on the road. I know Miss State is 11-0 at home. But I look at the strength of schedule at KenPom, and you got Auburn ranked at 126. You got Miss State at 313. Auburn's played a tougher non-conference schedule. I'm willing to lay the points with Auburn. Another SEC team I'm willing to lay the points with is Tennessee minus the 2.5 at home. They're coming off a 92-84 win at Vanderbilt on Tuesday, won last Saturday at home against Kentucky, 76-65. Meanwhile, Texas A&M coming off a 74-73 loss. Oh, God, where was that game at? At Kentucky on Tuesday. They're now 0-4 in conference play. The Vols last year as a 9.5 point road dog won outright in College Station 73-63. In terms of RPI and the KenPom rankings, Tennessee has a slight edge in the RPI ratings. They're 14th, A&M's 32nd. At KenPom, 15 versus 27. And strength of schedule at KenPom.com. The Volunteers, 4 A&M 76. I'm willing to lay the points there with Tennessee in that game. So those are your, let me just make sure those are the plays I told you I was going to give you. 1, 2, 3. Let me, don't want to back out and not give you all the plays I did promise. But yes, those are the, you got to love the live video reports, guys. Sometimes I even forget what the hell I was going to tell you. Yes, those are the 3 plays I promised, and those are the 3 plays you got. So go forth, go away, win some money, and off we go, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Good luck, everybody.